This is the Hygger hang-on back aquarium filter HGO99S. This is one I've not looked at before, but I'm very excited to do so. And this is the contents of the filter box. Now there is potentially a little bit of assembly to do here, but on first look it's a pretty attractive, if not chunky looking aquarium filter. It's obviously a hang on the back filter. What that means is it goes over the glass and the filtration is kind of hanging out the side of the aquarium, and the water flows back into your tank cleaner than when it went into the filter. It's all made from plastic. There doesn't seem to be any metallic parts to this filter other than the pump and motor, and it's kind of a smoky colour. If you can see, it's not quite black, but it's kind of smoky grey, and the top is blue with the Hygger logo. Now one thing that is attractive about this filter is there's lots of media. So unlike a lot of these hang on the back filters that just rely on pads, although there are pads in here as you can see, this comes with some bio balls, which is nice to see, and this is your biological filtration. It's pretty interesting actually, because at the top of the filter there's something I've not seen before, and it's kind of a little weir system. You can just see it there, and what that means is you put these bio balls in here, and then as the water returns, it's going to flow through your biological media before it hits your mechanical and your chemical filtration. On the top here we've got our flow adjuster. You can obviously increase or reduce the flow. It says min and max with little arrows pointing, so it's pretty obvious how to use it. And then we've got our outlet here. The water comes and starts off in there. To remove that, it all just pulls apart, and then to access the media below, again it all pulls apart, and we can see pre-installed we have one of these filter pads. These are pretty standard. In there it sounds like there's either some carbon or some other chemical media. You do actually get two of these in the pack, and in the manual it says that one of these is for biological and one of these is for chemical, but looking at them I can't really tell any difference between the two, and they don't seem to have any markings on there to tell you which one's which, so you just have to trust that one does one and one does the other. Of course, should you wish to not use pads, you can just remove those, and then there's plenty of space in there for you to add your own media, whether it be biological, chemical, or of course mechanical, a big lump of sponge or something like that. Now looking at the weir, this is the way the water goes back into the tank. It's quite long, which is designed apparently so that the water makes less noise, because a lot of them can be quite short and then you end up with that trickling effect, and if you don't want that trickling noise, then this one actually makes the water flow down the plastic and into your tank to reduce that water noise. It's also got this sort of divoted design, which I would imagine again stops the water from spraying out and more of a controlled trickle. If we look at the bottom here, this is where we need to install the pump, and the pump comes attached to the plug. The plug in my case is 3 pins because I'm in the UK, but wherever you buy this you'll get the correct pin, and to connect the two you just simply push them together, and then there is a track up the side here for the cabling to hide into, so that's quite nice. At the bottom you're provided with more options. The first one is an inlet with a foam cover, so this is good for small fish, maybe fry or in a shrimp tank, or we have a shorter inlet as well. One thing we don't have on this filter, which some other hang on the backs do, is a way to extend this. Sometimes you get them with little extenders, or maybe they can be telescopic. This one seems to be set at this height, which to be fair is going to reach into most aquaria, but what it's not going to do is allow you to put this at the bottom of the tank should you wish to, so just bear that in mind. At the bottom there's this little gizmo here, just moves backwards and forwards. I did find this quite stiff to install, it's a bit of a tight fit, and what that allows us to do is when we put it on the side of our tank we can just move it in and out, and it will basically tighten the filter to the glass. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in now. You can see the filter in action, and importantly see the flow rate and also if it's loud. So it is turned on, and wow, I didn't even know it had started. Look, So that just did it all on its own. Sometimes you've got to prime these filters. We can see, I'll turn the light on, but no, look, perfect, just started straight away, no issues whatsoever, and it's so quiet I didn't even realise it had started. I'm just doing the flow adjuster there, put it onto minimum, and it is obviously slowed down a little bit. I'll put it back onto maximum, and that'll increase the flow. We can see the biomedia here. Now look, some of this isn't actually underwater, so some of this is not going to be doing anything. You might want to stick some of this into the lower chamber then, because there was some room. But I think it's cool. And all these little designs just to make it a bit quieter. This is definitely, if I can get this to focus, this is definitely one of the quietest hob filters I've ever reviewed. Because look, you've got this first initial wear, which slows it right down and then makes it quiet. And then if we look at the back there, you can see the water coming in from that top weir, flowing through the media, and then down this waterfall into your aquarium. This is definitely suitable for your bedroom. If you've got a fish tank in your bedroom and your filter is currently driving you mad, this is the one for you. Now we can see here the water isn't fully going over this, this waterfall yet, but that will change. What will happen is as the biofilm develops on this waterfall, it'll actually draw the water fully across, but it's not really an issue. I don't think it matters. Now we can see, the one thing I did mention, that this outlet does not reach the bottom of my tank, and I think that's a shame. I would have liked to have seen a way of extending this down to the bottom, because this is only now drawing from the middle of the tank, whereas preferably would like it at the bottom here, so that we get a full sort of circle of water, a cycle of water through the tank. But other than that, I can't really fault this filter. I mean, it does look like a black box, I guess, but you know, fine. We can see the adjuster here is holding it perfectly level in my tank, and this is a very thin bit of glass. It's like 2 mil, so you can see there's plenty of scope for going on to thicker aquariums. But I'm actually really impressed with the volume of this filter. Absolutely dead quiet.